Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I talked about how speed is one of the most important principles of success. So often I will get people, and they're well-meaning, and they think they're doing the right things, but they are just in the phase that many people never get out of, which is a talking phase. They talk about this project, they got this idea, this business concept, but they're not doing anything. And very often when they do finally take some action, it's too late. Now, I'm not saying that every opportunity you got to immediately do something with it or it's going to just disappear. But in a lot of cases, it's not that the opportunity disappears, it's that your time to get in on the market is very limited. And this is something people need to understand, and this is not taught in churches. Most people don't grasp this concept. When you get deeper into the things of God, you'll come to know that God implants these seeds of ideas in a lot of people all over the world because he knows, and he's given people opportunities. He's given them a blessing. He's handing them the choice of life and blessing or death and cursing. Most choose the death and cursing because they don't take action on that seed thought of an idea that he's given them. But if you don't act, somebody got that same idea somewhere else in the world, and they're going to take action. This is how you see things like people say, well, I had this invention and then I saw it for sale at the store. Well, nobody knew your invention. They didn't read your mind. This idea was given to many people and somebody acted on the idea. You didn't. I have books full of ideas because I like thinking and creative thought and prayerful meditation on the things of God and his creativity. But a lot of those ideas I'm never going to do anything with because they're just not good for me. But I like thinking. But when I do have an idea, it's like, okay, this is a good idea. I need to run with this. I don't sit around thinking about it for weeks, talking over it with a bunch of other people. And yes, you got to be wise. You got to seek counsel and make sure your idea is not foolish. Of course, I'm not telling you to run headlong into things without any kind of preparation. But do something. The first step in doing something would be to do some more research. How can this business idea work out for my good? How is it going to bless the world? How is it going to be useful and add value to the lives of many people? I've given people advice. They ask me for I don't just go around randomly babbling to people. They asked for my advice, and I told them exactly what to do step by step to get their business off the ground. We're not talking about they needed a bunch of money. Literally just taking some of their time, a little bit of their time, no money at all. And then 2 weeks later, I'm talking to them, like, hey, how's your business going? Well, I'm still thinking about it. I'm still in the thinking phase. You're still in the thinking phase? You should already have your business up and running by now. What have you done? Well, nothing. I'm just thinking about it still. And that sounds ridiculous, but that is so many people's ideas. I know somebody who's been talking about starting a business. They did some things that look good on the surface. They bought some equipment. They devised a bunch of plans, a business plan on how they're going to do it and how they're going to make money. And they did a bunch of market research. They determined what individual sellers are selling, how much of this product, how much they'll be able to sell of it, how much money they'll make. All this stuff, great data. They haven't made a single product. They turned on one of the pieces of equipment one time just to test it out, and they've never done a thing. And 3 or 4 years later, they're still talking about it, and they haven't done a single thing. Yes, that's an extreme case, but I know people who've been talking about writing a book, and they've been talking about since they were kids. I've always had this idea of writing a book. They haven't written a book. They haven't even started writing one single page. They haven't even put a title down and written their name. They've done nothing. They just talked about it. And I'm not saying this to attack those people. I'm saying this because that is what losers do. I'm being blunt here. I know people don't want to hear this. They want to hear soft and pat on the back. Oh, you're trying. You thought about something for a few weeks and didn't do anything. Oh, great job thinking. No. You need somebody to be honest with you that tells you the truth. And one of the principles for success is to take action promptly. Speed is vitally important to success in business. People telling you and leading you down these rabbit holes of nonsense telling you, oh, you need to make sure and get a business plan and do this and do that. And they got all these things they want you just to waste your time on and piddle around, look like you're trying to do a business, but not actually get into the heart of actually making a product or providing a service or doing something that somebody actually will buy from you or pay you money for. They're leading you astray. You might have a great business idea, but it means absolutely nothing at all if you don't act on it. Business ideas are a dime a dozen. Everybody's got some great business idea. They thought of something that'd be great. They thought of an invention. Wonderful. What have they done to actually get that product into the marketplace? What have they done to provide that service for the market? Nothing. You can't be half-hearted in your business endeavors. God didn't give you the energy, the breath of life to just sit around thinking about things and doing nothing. Yes, you should think. That's great. But if your thinking is just another form of procrastination, another form of excuse making, another form of not doing the things you know you should do, it's useless to you, and it's harming you, and it's hindering you. It's keeping you back from success. I don't care what kind of success you have right now. If you're not taking action on a business idea, you had an idea for a book, and you haven't taken any kind of action on it, all the thinking in the world about that idea or that book or whatever it is not going to help you, and actually it will hinder you. Yes, when you start a business or you venture off into some endeavor, you want to be wise about it. You want to be thoughtful. You want to be prepared. You want to have thought through it. But that can happen super quickly. For many business ideas, it's just a matter of, do I want to do this or not? I do? Okay. Let me buy some product. Let me get a website made. There are literally AI website developers. You tell them what kind of business you have. You tell them what kind of a website you want. And within a few minutes, it will create an entire website for you for free or for a few dollars, compared to it used to cost thousands of dollars for a web designer. There are so many opportunities, and all the excuses people make. Well, I don't know how to make a website. AI will do it for you for free. Well, I don't know what product to get. Go to Amazon.com, look at top sellers in a category, see what is selling the best, find someone who supplies that product, buy it, sell it. This is not a complicated process. Yes, there might be more details in there that I'm leaving out because I'm just, for the sake of brevity. This is not complicated. Do something. I'm not telling you to go buy a bunch of products either, because you need to do some research, but the research is part of the action. Don't be like that person that I told you about that 3 or 4 years later is still researching about how they're going to do their business. They're way beyond that. They're just in full-fledged procrastination. They're never going to do anything. They're never going to start the business. It will never get off the ground because they refuse to do anything. They refuse to take action. And now they're just in the rut of pretending like they're going to start a business, and they're never going to start. Don't be that person. If you want to be the greatest success in life, take action quickly. Speed is important for your success. Now, you may say, well, what if I fail? Who cares? If we're talking about a website, you're going to sell some trinket. The website didn't cost you anything. The trinket cost you very minimal. You ran some ads. Maybe you got a few $100s invested. You might not even have that much invested. You might just put on your social media, hey, I have this product for sale, and see if anybody buys it. You might have nothing, no cost involved at all. If nobody wants it, okay, well, that idea didn't work. Then you move on to something else. No big deal. People are acting like if their business doesn't get off the ground, doesn't succeed, it's going to be life-ending. What are people going to do? Are they going to kill you? What's the worst thing that can happen? A little bit of shame because your business failed? There's nothing to be ashamed of that. The shame should be the person who's talking about starting a business and not doing anything. The shame should be the person who keeps babbling about writing that book and hasn't written a single word. And I'm not saying that you should be ashamed. I'm just saying, wake up. Life trickles by, and if you're not taking action and taking action quickly, your entire life will go by and you'll have not done much of anything. Do you want to be like everyone else? Average people talking about a business they're going to start one day, talking about how they're going to write a book, talking about this and that, and never do anything. Be the person that takes action quickly. Be that person who understands that speed is an important and vital principle in your success. I've never known anybody who's successful who didn't act quickly. Now, if they don't act quickly, it's because they're just formulating a way to either do it differently or they're not going to do it at all. But they generally make decisions pretty quickly. It is very rare that anyone successful doesn't act quickly. They get an idea, they do some basic preliminary research, see the viability of it in the market, and they start running with it. And listen, if you want help in this, because I know this video can't explain to you in detail because there's hundreds of thousands of products or services you could offer, and I can't get into every single one of them, obviously. Go to my website, click on the coaching tab. Every now and then I have coaching opportunities available. Right now it's booked up, but when it does become available, sign up for the newsletter on there. It'll send you an email whenever I do have an opening, and get in there. I can help you get a business started, get it off the ground. I'll give you advice. I'll give you some knowledge about what not to do, and I'll help you and I'll push you. I'm not going to let you sit around and tell me 2 weeks later, well, I haven't done anything yet. Sometimes it's all somebody needs, just somebody that believes in them and that backs them and that doesn't let them get into their babbling about how they're going to do it one day and talking about why it's so hard and all that excuse making. They see somebody that believes in them and that will tell them honestly the truth, how they can succeed, how they will be able to succeed, and how they will take action. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.